I can think of high points of seeing a Paul Taylor work, or a Meredith Monk work, or a Laura Dean work, or a Tharp, or a Hawkins, or a... I could go on, where I knew why I was born, because those works shook me in a very spiritual and religious way. And it became very clear to me what my purpose is and what my religion is. And that dance really is a religion. Because if you think of a religion, one giving you a deep spirituality, I have felt that watching dance. Sometimes not in the theater, but in the studio, watching a rehearsal. We'd come back from Europe, where we were treated royally like this. You know, there'd be press conferences, and we'd get to Paul's studio, which is still on 6th Avenue and 38th Street, 5 flights up, carrying all those bags. By the way, you were allowed 42 pounds when you went to Europe, personal baggage. That had to cover everything we had. We couldn't afford to have one excess baggage. So everybody took their own costumes, etc., whatever had to go. And if it was too much, you threw your own underwear out. You know, I mean, we made it work. And because we had no money. I mean, this was before there was any support whatsoever. Back from this trip, we're carrying all these bags. Everybody's tired. We finally get them up there. All the dancers go home. I'm saying, Paul, can I help you unpack? He said, maybe we should go get something to eat. I said, fine. Then he says, oh, I'm just too tired. And he walks over, and he lays down some newspaper and takes a red bucket full of sand, which had fire or something on it, you know, dumps all the sand out on the newspaper, cleans it out a little bit. He had a little running spigot up there. Went into the back where he lived, brought out some stuff, and we made a little stew on a Bunsen burner. And that's what we ate, sitting there on the floor. After the night before being dined by the Berlin Festival in one of the great Berlin restaurants. I remember begging and pleading with presenters I knew in this country, who I knew from my music groups or the Asian things. Please try modern dance. Please try modern dance. In 1972, it was the 25th year we were in Connecticut, in New London. And back then they were saying that no single dancer could do a Graham work and a Lamone work, that the styles were so terribly different that they always had to be separate. Well, I wasn't sure that was so true. Plus, I was concerned about the saving of some of the repertory, even at that point, that we were starting to lose, like Doris Humphrey's With My Red Fires, which I'd heard all these incredible things about. So Mac Lowry at the Ford Foundation gave us a grant, and we actually auditioned and put together a company of dancers, ADF dancers. And we brought up Charles Weidman, and he put his own flickers on this company. Linda Tarnay was the lead in that piece. And brought back With My Red Fires. Now, With My Red Fires was the kind of piece that they needed a lot of people to remember to bring back. So he had Bea Seckler and another woman with him, trying to remember what the piece was about. And so in one rehearsal, he says to the two women, girls, where were the arms when Doris had this entrance? So I think Bea said, the arms were up here. And the other woman said, no, the arms were down here. And then Bea said, I said the arms were up here. And the other woman says, no, they weren't. They were down here. Well, Charles is looking at this. All of a sudden, he says, stop, stop. Remember, Doris had died in 55 or 6. And he goes, I'm getting a message from Doris, the arms are here. The notator writes it in. So that's how we bring back work sometimes.